Hi everyone, it's Atuksha from Simple Crowdfunding, and in today's interview I have Steve Murphy from Ziphouse with me. Today we're going to be talking about quick sale properties and also what the property market is currently doing. But before we go into that, Steve, can I just ask you to briefly introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, of course. Hello, everybody. My name's Steve Murphy. I'm one of the partners at Ziphouse. I am from a financial services background. I've been buying and developing property for circa 20 years now. I've also worked as a consultant for one of the largest quick buy property companies in the UK. I helped them expand their sales by 300% in 3 consecutive months. And that was in the time that I was hired to do the job. So I have got some good experience in the quick sale arena, and I've got very good experience in the property market along with financial services.
Thank you so much. And tell me a little bit about Ziphouse as well, please.
Well, Ziphouse is a property company. We are a quick sale, quick buy company where we buy properties below market value. And we sell for a profit. We try and tailor our services to meet everybody's needs. The company's run by family and friends, close family and friends. We felt that we could do better than the competition that's out there currently, and we want to help those in need of selling their property quickly whilst building a thriving business. So here we are today.
So what is it that makes you different to your competitors?
Well, we pay more than any other quick buy company out there, for one. I think that's an important part to start. We also offer cash advances to those who are in need of that service. We also have our own in-house estate agent, which is called For Sale, which we can also assist in finding your next property should you be in the need to sell your property quickly. We have extensive experience in the market, and we're there to be better than everyone else.
That's fair enough. We're going to talk about the quick sale model in a moment and how that fits in and fits into the current climate. Sure. But before we do that, can I just ask you to share your thoughts about what you are seeing in the property space right now?
Of course. So at the moment, average property prices have increased by £44 a day, and that's in the last 6 months alone. Now, they hit a record high of 235,000. That was according to the house price index. Now, whilst this is mainly due to the stamp duty freeze, there's also been a lower level of property available against demand. So the big issue that we foresee at the moment is with COVID, with the furlough scheme, as well as the stamp duty freeze, what we believe is going to happen, we think prices are well overinflated. There will be a correction in the market at some point in the close foreseeable future. We believe this will happen in 2022, so which is it's only around the corner. So we think that once the realization of COVID, obviously people going back to work, there's going to be what we foresee is a lot of job losses in 2022. So we believe that there will be that correction in the marketplace. So there will be a crash at some point. How big, we don't know, but we believe it's coming.
That's an interesting viewpoint. With regards to that, how does Ziphouse, how do you see Ziphouse being placed to thrive in those market conditions?
Well, there's lots of people looking to sell their property quickly. That's never going to stop. We can move quickly. We pay, as I said, we pay more than other quick buy companies. And obviously, as I said to you before, I offer a cash advance, and we have our in-house estate agent, as I've mentioned. In terms of this, what's really important is that if we buy a property that is below market value, we still have leeway to make a profit in the business. So if there is a slump in the market, we still have scope to make that profit. And as I said, because we do have our in-house estate agent in-house, we make a commission on the sale as well. So that is quite important. I must correct myself, because actually we don't like to call it a commission, because we don't actually charge a commission. We sell at a price that the vendor wants to sell, but we do take a fee for that. Some people might call it a commission, but we don't.
That's fair enough. In terms of quick sell, for people who might not know what quick sell actually means, can you just describe what the model is?
Yeah, it's quite straightforward, really. We don't charge. So if you're a vendor and you're looking to sell your house quickly, it might be for various circumstances. It could be the fact that you have a house in probate and you've just inherited a property. It could be that you are in financial need and you're in arrears and you don't want to have your house repossessed, so you want to sell it quickly. So what we basically do is we will give you an offer on the telephone on the day that you contact us. We will complete when it suits you. We can complete within 7 working days, as long as the paperwork is tidied and done accordingly. We will, as I said to you before, we can offer that cash advance if you need it. But most importantly, we don't charge you any fees at all. So we're like a one-stop shop. You don't pay a penny. You come to us, we'll give you a price. It will be below the current market price, but it will be a price that you're happy with. If you're not happy with the price that we quote you, we will simply say to you, what do you want to sell your property for? And we will look at that. And as long as we feel that that's in our remit, we will pass that over to our online estate agent, where we have a vast amount of investors that will take, hopefully, the opportunity to purchase your property from you. It may not be as quick as a week, but we anticipate it being within 4 to 6 weeks.
So based upon that, so it's people who have a need because of arrears or something like that. So they've got to do something in order to maintain as much of the equity potentially within their properties as they can. But also it sounds to me like the other part of it is also a service where people don't want the hassle of putting properties on the market. They might have quite a lot of equity in it. They just want the property gone. So that's the service piece as well that you offer. Would that be fair?
Absolutely, Atuksha. I mean, what's important, a lot of people, especially over COVID, they don't want loads of people coming in and out their houses as well. So they find it easier to come to a company like us. We'll do an online, we'll do like an online survey. We'll give you a cash offer, as I said. We do have to send a surveyor around to the house, but you know, you'll have to do that anyway with whoever you sell your property through. But the key thing for us is that you're cutting out having loads of different people coming in and out your house, doing viewings. You know where you stand with us. We'll give you the cash offer. If you're happy with that cash offer, we can complete when it suits you.
That's fair enough. And once you get the property, what do you do with it?
Okay, so it all depends on the condition of the property. Often we buy properties and they are in good enough condition where we can just simply flip them and sell them through our online estate agent. Because we do buy them, we are not in a particular massive rush to sell them immediately, albeit that we'd rather turn a profit quickly. A lot of the properties, and this is also where we differ from other companies, we will hold on to certain properties and keep them for our own portfolio. So we will get a rental income ourselves, which is better because, again, we can give a good price for that property because we're not flipping that property and we're just keeping it for rental. But it generally does depend. Sometimes we'll get a property and it's not in a particularly great state at all. So we will renovate that property. We don't tend to do extensions and look for planning. It's mainly aesthetic work.
Okay. And so the model is both cash flow and capital gain. But it will just depend upon the type of property. So from properties that you might decide to hold, is there a sweet spot with the types of properties, or can it vary from flats to houses to estates? How does that work?
It is simply on a case-by-case basis. We look at a property. Obviously, the rental yield is also very important to us. One thing that we do look at is turning properties into HMOs if there is that need in the area first and foremost, and if the property will allow us to do that. There is a high demand in HMOs to date, and you can get an extremely nice profit from the rental income. So that is certainly something that we do look at, but it's simply on a case-by-case basis.
So Steve, you talked about the property market and you're expecting there to be a correction next year. What do you expect the property market to do in both the medium and longer term?
Well, as I said to you, Atuksha, we believe that there is going to be a drop in the marketplace. There will be a correction. I think in terms of historically, if you look over the last 50 years, every decade, you tend to see a drop in the property market, some more severe than others. However, we believe that there's going to be quite a severe drop and quite a severe correction in the market, because I think properties are overinflated at the moment. I think in the medium term, it will, you know, once it hits that level of getting to a certain point of on the low point, I think you're going to start seeing a recovery that will probably be quite quick in comparison to other areas of, you know, other commodities, if you like. However, you know, generally speaking, if you buy property for the long term, people don't tend to lose money. They tend to gain quite a lot of profit. In the UK, it's one of the most secure areas in the property market, rather than putting your money abroad in a market that is a lot more volatile.
Okay, and with regards to Ziphouse specifically, how are you planning to manage any market correction, or to make the most of any market correction?
Well, as I said to you before, the good thing about Ziphouse is that we buy all property below market value. We also have access to properties that are pre-bank repossessions. So we're getting these properties. Some of these properties are coming to us between 25 and 35, maybe even 40% below market value. So when you think about that side of things, if there was a market correction, and these corrections don't tend to happen overnight, it's not a case of we're going to wake up one morning and see a 50% drop in the property market. It tends to happen gradually, and we tend to see that happening. So the way we look at this, because we can turn properties over quite quickly, if we buy property even 20% below market value, even if the market dropped by 10%, we'd still be making a profit. So we are always going to be in line with the marketplace, and should the worst happen, we'll be ready for it.
Steve, we've been talking for a little while now, because you're talking about bringing opportunities to the Simple platform, aren't you?
Yes.
So can you tell me a little bit about the types of opportunities that you are looking to make available to community members?
Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned to you earlier that when we get the correct property, we like to look at obviously always below market value properties. HMOs are very important part of the business. Again, it depends on the properties that we actually get at the time. But the most important thing is making some of our below market value properties available for the crowd. We're expecting to turn these around quite quickly, between 3 to 6 months. The timescales will depend upon whether there is going to be a requirement for basic renovation or development uplift. And now, obviously, if we're going to do a HMO, there's a lot more work to be done in a HMO than there is a straight decoration and renovation. But we want to bring those opportunities to the crowd so they can see what we are doing and become part of our experience.
That'll be great. We're looking forward to bringing some opportunities to market. So we've talked about the opportunities that you're looking to bring to Simple Crowdfunding. What are Ziphouse's long-term goals? What is it that you want to achieve in this space, or continue achieving in this space? Well,
that's quite simple. Look, we want to continue on the journey of purchasing below market value properties. We want to do this on a much larger scale. We want to become a bigger player in the development and build our own property portfolio. As I said, we do buy and hold and we rent, so we want to grow that. And we want to grow that year on year. I think more importantly at the moment, as you know, we can share this with the crowd because we have below market value properties that are pre-bank repossession stock. So again, it means we have a lot more opportunities to bring to the crowd, which I think is fundamental. But on top of this, one thing and one area which we are looking to venture into is social housing. We have contacts within local authorities. We know that there's a huge need out there, and we feel that with the stock that we have, we can help fulfill the government requirements for this particular sector.
Wow, that's interesting to know. Steve, it's been enlightening. Thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else that you want to share with the community?
No, apart from we look forward to working with you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.